Welcome to my review of the LEGO Ninjago called Jay's Titan Mech 71785, which retails for a 130 AUD, but I got it at Kmart for just 100 AUD. But also, I will be comparing it to these three mechs, just like I did in my review of Nia's Samurai X mech, but now first we'll look at the side build, then the minifigures. Okay, this first side build is the little bone, guy's little, I guess, a little turret wagon thingy, which it rolls along. You can probably grab one of the little bone warriors that we'll look at in a second, and yeah, you can do that so you can have them walking along there. There's little bone thingies and stuff. The little spider legs you can move along, but what you're meant to do with this, which is a little camera malfunction there, but what you're meant to do is you're meant to grab this, hold it. Yeah, as you can tell, I am pretty sure I would have built this, right? You know, I'm a freaking 17-year-old lawyer fan. I think I would have built this better than, I think what the, I don't know, I think it's probably, let me check. It is a 9+ set, so I'm pretty sure I would have a better building experience than a 9-year-old if I've been building LEGO sets since like 2012. But this, you gotta really, it's very, I don't know, unless I did build one, which I don't think I did, it does not fire that well. Like, I'm trying to get it to fire. Like, you need to really, like, I've done it before, it's just, wait, hold on. Okay, just double checked the images if I had it set up right, and I do, and it really doesn't work, which I am actually kind of disappointed by. I was actually kind of excited for this build because of this, which is the 2013 Stone Warrior bike, which has a very similar play feature and actually works really well. You have this little level here and you flick it and it actually fires like a decent amount, whereas this thing is just not going. I also would like to mention just now, you do get enough spare pieces to make a spare missile, but it doesn't work, which I know this is just the side of the set, but because I do like this a lot. It's a very funky looking helmet shaped vehicle and stuff, but it just, I have gotten it worked before, but it is very hard to actually fire one of these. Let me just take that out. Yeah, okay. See, it went that time. Maybe it's just like the first, yeah, maybe it's just the first one. Let me retry this. I'm sorry, my floor is very hairy because it's freaking carpet. But yeah, it is a, you gotta like full force it. Okay, I'm getting it to work now, but it's very finicky, unlike this one, which I've had for years, and why it's been deconstructed for years, but yeah, okay, I think I've spent, I don't know what, 4 minutes, or I guess 3 minutes on this. That's probably enough. Onto the minifigures. Okay, our first minifigure here is a Bone Hunter, and he has these two bone size from the new, weapon pack, which I don't have any unopened ones because I only got a few sets with them, but you do get two of these size, two of these scythes, two of these swords, two of these little crowns, and I just did that, I just throw them in, but you do get 4 of these shurikens, which, yep. Okay, but we're now onto the Bone Warrior himself. His weapons, these bone weapons are really cool. I'll probably talk about them individually as I go through the set. Obviously, the shurikens aren't used in this set, and I'm gonna say, I do not like them. They are very big and oversized, and don't look that sharp, and they just kind of suck in my opinion. That's my opinion though, but onto the figure, he has this, the 2017 movie conical hat, which is in red, which was used on the Stone Warriors, but he has this new face print that all the bone guys, except for the king, uses, which is this little, sort of like a skull. It's meant to be like the spring green of like the hands and this new lower jaw piece, but you can see it on camera, but obviously since LEGO is printing lighter colors on darker colors like black, it doesn't really line up that well. So this is meant to be like the lower jaw, but because it's discolored on the face, it doesn't look as well, but which isn't, that's a whole LEGO issue, but It's alright. I think this figure doesn't... I think it's probably better than some of the others because it does have the hat, so like the head would kind of be a bit darker anyway, but it's just a general Lego thing that happens. But onto the legs and torso, we have this is also used on the Bone Knight. There are 2 torso versions. This only comes with 1, well, I guess besides the Bone King's torso, but this is a really cool torso. I think I prefer the other torso just because that one has the okay, I guess the light there went really funky, but the other one has pure silver arms, which I think looks better, you know. Okay, that's very fun. I'm just gonna go grab the other torso. Alright, this is a Bone Warrior from the Evo Mech Jewel. I think he also comes in the Ice Dragon figure, but I don't know, just the silver arms there, I think, look a lot better. I will say this figure doesn't come in the set, obviously, but yeah, I just like this one silver arms. It just feels more, I don't know, it just pops more than the black or whatever, but yeah. Okay, but now to talk about the torso itself, I do like this chain detailing with this upper armor piece, which looks probably a bit better on the Knight, because he has the Shintaro dungeon armor, but we'll talk about him in a second. And these legs, which is more silver, which is really cool. It's got this little like red chainmail as well, and these like sort of bandages, which are on the Bone Warrior's torso more. And yeah, more like bandages than that Knight chain sort of feel, which I think it's really cool. I really do like this Bone faction. I think, you know, as much as, you know, the snakes are funny, I actually do think these new core villains are actually pretty cool. And I hope we do get more ones. More, I guess, new core villains if we get core next year. Yep. Okay, I've talked to... Let's give him his weapon back. Alright, I've talked to him about the war. Let's go to the Knight. Woo. Okay, and just like I said, here we are onto the Bone Knight, which uses the Bone Pickaxe, which is a really cool piece. It is more, I guess it is more of like actually, it's a scythe, not a pickaxe, what I'm talking about. It just looks like a pickaxe, but it only has one side, so it's more of a scythe, but it does feel like more of a pickaxe. But you can only hold it from the hilt, which I don't mind, because it is sort of like a smaller one, and this tier looks actually really cool. Unlike the golden scythe, having it not be a full bar piece actually looks good, because on the scythe, it's not a full bar piece, and it looks really bad. But on this, actually looks pretty decent. But onto the rest of the figure, which is very similar to the Bone Warrior, except it has the this armor pad, as I told about, the Shintaro armor, and it has the crystallized, like, Overlord, Crystal King, Oni helmet, which, that's really cool to get in more sets. I think that maybe there should have been something here to connect there, but I don't know what piece would have been good to connect there. But one thing that's really unique about this minifigure, it has this really big back attachment with this with these banners and a red cow skull, which I don't think this piece has come in a Ninjago set before. I don't have it, and I have like a lot of Ninjago sets, so that's probably, unless it came in like a 2011 set, but I don't think so. But yeah, it's cool to get in red. I think this is new for this piece in red, and it's got these nice banners and these like teeth and stuff, and this is a good figure, just like the other one. I think the Bone Warriors are really cool, but that's about it. Onto the Bone King. Okay, now onto the Bone King, which has the bone, actually can't really see it here, but the bone crown on like the black samurai helmet piece, which I think is a really cool look to have that. I don't know, I haven't tried this, but that might look cool on Garmadon or maybe Samurai, or, well, it wouldn't fit on Samurai, but you know, in the show we had it, or in the shorts. But has this bronze sword, which I think is really cool, because this is like a white bony sword, and he has this shield, which in the other sets he doesn't have a shield, and this one he does. I don't know, I think that's a neat difference. That's, yeah, it's cool. It's a shield, it's something more. But I think this is definitely my favorite out of the 3 bone, I guess, well, technically there's 4 bone ones. There's the Bone Guard, the Warrior, the Knight, the Hunter, and the King, and he has this nice tattered cape, which this is a really cool piece. It's cool to see some more figures, and it really does fit the Bone King. And he's got this nice, this more nice chainmail with these like chains, and this, I guess this is their faction symbol. And he's got on his knees, and he's got these nice little toe printing as well. And he also has this really cool face on this, the spring green, with this like metallic skull face with these glowing eyes and stuff. So this is a really cool figure, just like the rest of the Bone Warriors. But His back printing, most of the time it is covered by a cape. Let me fucking get that off. I guess I apologize for swearing. Maybe I'll delete that, who knows. But he has this really nice back printing. It does, the front's better. This, I haven't looked at this too closely. This honestly feels like some sort of like, I don't know, it feels like some sort of medieval Iron Man suit from the back. I don't know, that could be, I guess if it didn't have the skull or the chains, this would be a good medieval Iron Man. Maybe someone can make that, I don't know, who knows, but just like the rest of the Bone Warriors, this is really cool. Okay, I guess I'll just complete the body and the head, and we'll move on to the other minifigures. Okay, here we have what is labeled on the box as a Woobot, but that ain't Woo, this is more, obviously this is would be presumably a Pixel Bot. Or I guess it could be Mini Pix from Crystallized, but this is not Mini Pix, it's more of a, it's more of a Woobot, but if it was Pixel, and just like a Woobot has this, this piece here, which you can take off, and that's that, and you can put legs in it. It's got the same legs. It's built, she has this new head build, which is like the samurai crown, and it just has this little bar piece thing, and you can put the katanas there, so she can hold the katanas, and I guess these can be spec katanas for the Ninja or Pixel, which, yeah, it's a good face print. This is a good small little figure. It's cool. It's also exclusive. That's cool. Core doesn't really have too many exclusive figures, except from last year with the Pixel and Woo, which are no longer exclusive, which is good. Core probably shouldn't have figures like that exclusive, and Pixel only has come in like 5 sets. But I'm getting off topic. Let's just move to Jay and Nia. Okay, first up here we have Nia, which she is just the same as last year, which I don't mind. I know a lot of people really wanted new ninja suits. I don't mind either way. I think it's probably better we didn't get new ninja suits, so they can use the budget for that, or what they would have done. If they did make new suits for Core, they would have less of a minifigure budget for whatever the new series is. Okay, I said the words, but yeah, it's just the same. She has this spear that she had from last year, which is cool, and they did actually change the katana colors, so they have gold now, because last year they had unique colors. I think Nia had the light, was azure blue? It's like this blue, but more light, and that's the same one that Zane used, but yeah, I guess it's fine. It's a minor thing, but I guess I haven't really talked about the cool minifigures on this channel, but I think Nia's probably one of the better ones. They're alright. They'd really be epic if they had dual molded legs, but Nia's alright. Obviously, just the same face print she's had since the movie, and it is cool to get more of the seasonal armor piece, and just generic back printing. These suits are meant to be just generic ninja suits, and they are fine at that. I don't know what they would do if they remade the core suits for this year. They're fine as there is, and yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. Let's move on to Jay. Okay, here we have Jay, which, just like me, is the same from last year. He has these nunchucks, which are very standard, just gunmetal grey lightsaber hilt and chains that, they work, just like golden katana, which this Jay minifigure, I think, like me, is very generic, but I do think this new, I guess it's not new color, but they did make a katana in this, like banana yellow color for Jay, which I know that's kind of weird that they just made that, then this year they all just have gold katanas. I don't know, it's very weird, but just like Nia, I think this one, I guess, yeah, Jay and Nia are probably some of the better ones that don't suffer from not having dual molded legs, because their bottom leg colors are similar enough, and yeah, I don't have much to say for the core suits since they are very generic. They're fine for what they are. I guess that's the Ninjago. If you don't know, that's the Ninjago letters for ninja. It just says ninja. That's a little symbol they've used in core. It's fine. Just like Nia and pretty much all the other core suits, they're fine. And I guess if you haven't seen this face before, that's the J movie face. They've been using that since 2017. But yeah, that's about it for Jay. Let's move on to the actual mech. Okay, here we have the actual mech build itself, which I have to say, I really like this one. It's really cool. It's very different from these three, being a lot more sort of like skinny and lanky. I will say this one is a bit more harder to play with since it is more skinny and less balanced than these three. It also is, I'll get into comparisons about price later, but first, I guess I'll move with the legs, which I think they're very weird because you can move them side to side, but these legs do not move up and down at all. Like, they're barely moving. But they do have some decent... I'm sorry, it's very hard to get a good angle of this, but they do have it does have decent knees here, which I don't know. This leg straight does look kind of weird because this mech is like permanently leaning its back over, but these legs are all right. I think because the joint. Let me pause and get some stuff. Okay, I just took the big thingy off, but on the side we have. Get out of the way, hand, but. Okay, on the side, we do have these 2 katanas here, which you can take off. There's this little one that is on a ball joint, and this one is not. You can also put the big one in here. It doesn't fit as well, but yeah, the range of motion on these legs are very limited. Also, when you move it around, sometimes these pieces can come off pretty easily, but this... That, I haven't encountered that before. I guess I haven't pushed it up that fast, like that. But yeah, I will say this one. I guess, as I said before, not getting into comparisons just yet. But this one definitely feels less like a toy and more of like a display model than the other 3. Because this one is very, I don't know. This one feels a bit harder to actually like play with and stuff. But okay, onto the middle section, which, like I said, is like permanently leaned, like, which is like permanently hunched back. I'm sorry for this camera quality. I know it's amazing, but yeah, see, this one is very hard to. You gotta really finick around with it, but you can, like, see, like this is permanently like this would be how it looked straight up, but it is permanently like doing like a freaking crunch or something. But yeah, okay, but alright, I like it, but okay, I'm gonna have to pause. I'm going in a funky position. See, this one is really finicky and hard to move around. Okay, I guess I'll move on. I'll put J and then we'll move on to the arms, which yeah, you have to really balance this one because the legs are not that. The legs are very, very funky, and you gotta pose it around, and you can't really have the legs flat, and it looks kind of. I like how it looks. It's a good set. It is very finicky though, which I'm not gonna. Or I have no idea how I'm gonna actually like show how to get. Because putting J in, just like posing everything else is very finicky. I would recommend just taking that off. And okay, get J in like that. It's also a little more finicky when you're doing it with one hand because you're holding a phone. Let me just. Okay, so then, yeah, you want to do that, then you want to put his arms down, then you grab that again, because that makes, like, 10 times easier if you take this little part off. Let me go in. Go. It's not this finicky, it's obviously just, it is still finicky, but it is not as finicky because, usually because, I'm using one hand to record, but let's go into the head, now, which I like the look of this head. It's very cool. It's like a samurai sort of head or whatever. Just like what it makes. One thing I do think is a neat idea is this sort of like, I guess it's like meant to be a cord, and it's got these like things that are meant to like represent the ends of wires, which I think is a really neat idea. It's just like in all the images, it's more like spread out, but it's, it's more, it's like it droops down and is like this. So if you can, I think 1 or 2 more of these blue like Technic pieces. Yeah, I think 2. You could probably have it look more like this, which doesn't look as good as like having it all sort of more. Can I get it? Yeah, like that, where it's more like separated and stuff. But I think just having a few, 2, at least 1, but probably 2. Maybe, I don't know, I don't think you could fit 3 in here, but having more of these would really help that stay. But now, let's move to these shoulder cams, which are actually really cool. and you can move around, and you do have these which you can pose and stuff, but there's a button here which has these big old thingies, which, let me shoot, which, is that, no, it's the red thing, I was poking on this, my brain is not working that well today, I guess, but you can do that, and it fires off. Okay, I'm back. My phone ran out of space, so, yeah, this thing here is, cool. Yeah, this, like I said, it's a very, non-balanced set, but let's probably move on to, I would say, probably the least finicky part of the set. And that is the arm, which has because it uses this, new mech piece that was introduced last year that makes it have a really good articulation point at the shoulders, and has a really neat elbow articulation, which is really cool. And you can grab one of the swords. You can put them in both hands. I'm just gonna chuck the big one and the small one in each hand, just so you can. Okay, future me, do the why. Get that in. You know, I'm not. Why do I don't even have an excuse. I'm not using the fucking camera to hold one hand, bruh. Actually, one. Okay. Which is really cool. I like the it has the lantern on it, which is really cool, and it's a nice sword. You can put it in both hands, and you can get the big boy sword, which doesn't help the mech's balance, but is very cool, and does have the lantern, and it has okay, these pieces here. These pieces are only held by a few studs, so they fall off pretty easily. But besides that, really cool big sword. Yeah, that's really neat. I think let's move on to the comparison. Okay, we're gonna start off with the comparisons, which we'll start off with the 2019 Lloyd's Titan Mech, which started the whole Titan series, and what the J1 is very similar to this. Obviously, this one doesn't have knees, is way more stable, has actual not alright. It's a little bit better in the feet. Doesn't have knees. The arms are not. I don't know. These arms are very basic, but they're not bad. Some pretty cool shoulder pads. Has the detachable thingy. Pretty cool. I think this one. I think it's more about the looks. This one is definitely more playable wise. Like the legs, especially the legs on these ones, because they're so skinny and the body is so skinny, really hurt the playability on it. But this one's cool. I don't think it looks as good as this one. The wings are cool. Then we have the frickin' Zane's Titan Mech, which came out in 2021 for, what was it? It was 180, so this one was 30 less. But I got it for a bit cheaper. It came up, but I think, obviously, this one is really cool. I like this one's look. I think these older ones do look cool. I do like the look of the skinny one, and I like how the knees are done on here, and this one is a lot more stable, and again, a lot more playable. Just like, and also the knees are, not the knees, the feet are also better. You can actually move, these ones barely move. These ones still barely move, but not that much. Which I am going through these quickly, because I have compared all three of these to this one, which is, like, what, 200? Which is a lot. I think I got it for, like, 160 it came out. I can't remember exactly, but I think this one is a lot more playable. This one is a lot bulkier and a lot taller. Yeah, this one is a lot taller. I really like the look of this one. I think these ones aren't bad. It's just that this one really feels like it's meant for display and not play, whereas these ones are probably a mixture of both, but I do like the hands on this one, and it has a very similar for the gripping for the sword. And now I guess since I've compared these, I did compare these in the others, which I think I don't remember the exact conclusion I made, but I think this one was like, pretty much, yeah, half price of this one. It is decently shorter, and this one is a lot bigger and bulkier. I think this one is definitely retired by now. It's 2 years old. And this one obviously is retired, which I think out of these four, I think I actually like this one looks-wise the best. But I think these two probably more this one, I guess, is probably more playable because this one also has a really good cockpit. I do really like this one, but I think I don't know, the head on this one is just really whatever, but this one obviously is a little outdated, doesn't have knees, but this also is really cool and has the little flyer on the back. But in a whole, I guess I'll go into my final thoughts now. This is a good set. I think 130 is definitely a bit too much. I was able to get on a discount at Kmart, well, I guess Kmart just has their prices low for 100, but I think for that price with the figure selection and the arcade side build is actually a pretty good value for 100. 130, and I guess what this is 80 in the US, and I don't know if you can find it for cheaper in the US or other regions. I would recommend it, but overall it's a good set, a little overpriced, but that's most sets these days, and it's not ridiculous. So I guess I would recommend it. It's just not I guess I don't know if you're a kid or whatever, but this is not the most playable thing. It is a bit flimsy. These ones are a bit better, but I guess, well, this one's like almost double the price, but it does have a bit better minifigs as well. But there's a lot of things to contribute. I like this set. I think it looks the best out of these four, but is definitely the least playable. That's about it. I won't be reviewing any other core sets, I think. I just wanted to review this one because I thought it was cool. But yeah, that's about it. Bye.